Hello, people of the internet. Hello, media fans, and in particular, film buffs. In even more particular, the Black Hole film buffs. That's right, The Black Hole is the movie I am reviewing for this particular episode, and I can't wait to dive into this one. It's one I revisited a short while ago after having moved house, and I thought, ooh, that is just a movie I just want to see. And I forgot how old this movie was. I think it's 79, I believe. I'm looking at it, but I haven't got a hope in any reality of being able to read it without my glasses. But yeah, so I'm going to be basing the score, overall score, on 5 different attributes, as I usually do, and they are acting. Let me see. Let me just get my notes here ready. Yes, so storyline, acting, production, personal enjoyment, and replayability. And then what I do is, on each section of that, I give it a mark out of 10, and then at the end, an overall score. Now, I will give you the overall score. I don't know if I might do this slightly differently or do it the same way as I normally do. No, we'll just dive in. So remember, these are marks out of 10, and at the end I'll give you the overall score. I might tell you in the comments below if I remember. I might put a timeline stamp when that's revealed, if you really want to know. Okay, so The Black Hole, Disney, one of Disney's earlier movies, obviously pre-Star Wars, but obviously in competition to Star Wars, because it was around about the time that The Empire Strikes Back came out, and this was kind of Disney's answer to that, I suppose, for want of a better word. It was actually Disney. Here's an interesting fact for you. This was actually Disney's first PG-rated movie. So that gives you a bit of a hint. It's a little bit darker in some elements than previous movies that have gone by from Disney at the time. So remember that. It was the first one. So let's go straight to storyline. And I give the storyline a mark of 7 out of 10. And there's some good points and bad points about the storyline. Okay, so the storyline itself is great. Okay, I love the storyline. It's really good, and it starts off well. And it feels, the storyline of the movie as a whole, it feels as if it's setting you up for further installments or episodes, movies, whatever, TV series. And message to Disney, if anyone's watching, yeah, let's do a TV series of The Black Hole. Go on, that'd be awesome, be epic. If you don't want to do another movie, but I think you should, you ought to do it anyway. Why I say that? Well, the good points about it is it feels as if there's a deeper, richer element to the setting here, like a deeper lore to the whole environment. And that's due mostly to the robots, in specific link or shout out to the robots Vincent and Bob. Now, the reason I say that is because it's made obvious during the course of the story that there are more of their kind, and that's borne out later on in the story. So, and you meet with old Bob. I see Vincent is they're kind of opposites. Vincent's kind of a new model, and old Bob is he's in like an old and abused service droid, like the last one of his kind left aboard the spaceship. And it all revolves around they're out in space and they come across this other spaceship, and it's Dr. Reinhardt, who's been missing for X amount of years, and his spaceship is hovering just outside a black hole and it's maintaining its position. They're like, how can he do that? And they start getting pulled into the black hole, and then when they get inside this bubble near the ship, and they're okay, so they dock and they meet up with Dr. Reinhardt. I'm not going to go into the story, but as I was saying, it does feel like there's a greater lore to it, and that is due largely to the robots. Now, the darker side of the story comes the whole, like, with the crew being turned into half-human robot slaves. It doesn't actually go into the specifics of that. I suppose because it is a Disney movie, and they didn't want to go beyond PG, but yeah, it's kind of a dark feel to it. Where it falls apart, however, for me, and remember this is all entirely subjective, is the end of the movie where they get sucked into the black hole and it just all goes weird and trippy, and you got to start being followers or understanders of poetry and metaphor and simile to know what the heck's going on with the story. It's just weird. It gets so weird. But there you have it. That is the story. So 7 out of 10. Right. Let's move on to the second section, which is acting. Okay. Now, for me, it's better than average. It's not brilliant by any stretch of the imagination, but they do have the actor Ernest Borgnine. I don't know if I've pronounced his name right, but Ernest Borgnine. I've seen him in so many movies. He kind of plays himself in pretty much every movie, but he's one of those few actors that can get away with it. I mean, who can play themselves and do two different roles, like like a sheriff or policeman, and then step into the role of a scientist in space in the future, and still play themselves, or a chauffeur, from the likes of Escape from New York and things like that. But he gets away with it just fine. I like him as an actor, and for me, he's why I've given this section 7 and not 6. The rest of them were bit lackluster, I felt. In some cases I felt the robot Maximilian delivered a better acting stance than some of the human counterparts, and he doesn't have an expression or even say a word throughout the entire movie. But yeah, anyway, so a 7 out of 10 for acting. Yeah, it's above average, but it's not the best. Let's move on to production then. Okay, so as you know, this isn't, like, for me, this isn't how much money or big of a budget a company throws at a movie. Remember Disney, oh yeah, they were a big company, but they weren't the monster that they are now. And for me, the production, I scored 9, because it was brilliantly done, absolutely amazing. Remember, you're trying to compete with the likes of Star Wars, which is like the pinnacle of sci-fi, space wars, special effects, and I think they do absolutely brilliantly on that. So a 9 from me on that one. I won't go into that one too much. Personal enjoyment then. That's a 9 too. There's just something about this movie I enjoy very, very much. I mean, I've started collecting Funko Pop heads in my personal nerd collection. I've already got the Maximilian one. I'm looking to get the Vincent ones and any other ones I can find. Yeah, I love the black hole. For me, it's a classic. So personal enjoyment is a 9, because coming on to the next section, which is replayability, links in rather nicely, because I give that a 10 because I would watch it over and over again. I could probably count on two hands, I would say. Let's be realistic here. Two hands, the amount of movies I could watch over and over and over again. The Black Hole is certainly one of them. So that brings my overall score and rating for this movie to a 42 out of 50. Now, that's not bad. It's quite a high score. It's not the highest, but it is a movie I could watch again and again and again, you know. And I'll still be confused regards the ending of it. I mean, we know what's kind of going on, but why did it take such a strange turn at the end? There are actually reasons for this, but that would be a different type of video to go into that. You could probably find them on YouTube if you so wish. There's one I think is called 10 Things You Didn't Know About Disney's The Black Hole. I think he might touch on it. I forget what this channel is called, but that's the name of the video. Is I'm pretty sure it's 10 Things You Didn't Know About the Black Hole. If you find that, that'll tell you. But yeah, I mean, they came in to put it in a nutshell. They came across some problems, you know, making the movie. It wasn't easy. It wasn't a straightforward thing, but yeah, it's a classic. 42 out of 50, The Black Hole. So I thoroughly recommend it. It gets a thumbs up from me. Pete gives it a thumbs up. Pete's Media Reviews, yes, it's a thumbs up. Ka-ding. Thanks ever so much for watching this one. Sorry it's been a long time since I've posted anything. There will be more coming. It's just that I've moved recently and I'm still settling into my new place and trying to find things and find my way around and get all my stuff out, and having the time to watch movies has been very limited. But I did watch The Black Hole and I enjoyed it thoroughly, just as much now as when I was a child. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I will see you on another video. Bye for now. Bye bye.